Let's turn to business news now with Nona Peltier, who is sitting beside me in the Auckland studio. The latest quarterly Westpac Consumer Confidence Survey indicates people are more confident than they have been in a decade, which I would suspect is pretty unusual this close to an election.
It is really, and surprising, but that's what it shows. Overall, the survey just came down 1 point off of last quarter, or the quarter before, where it was at an all-time high. So the level is 112.4, 100 being the benchmark, so more positive, less positive, under. So very positive. What's interesting is that the way that people feel about their own self, their own household, has improved over the year earlier, and they are now at the highest level in more than a decade, since before the global financial crisis. And they're spending money not on major things for the home, and that kind of is what you'd expect with the slowdown in the housing market, but on going out and having a good time. In fact, they were asked if they had a windfall of, say, $10,000, what would they use the money for? Fewer of them said they'd use it to repay debt, which is interesting because household debt is at a record high level at the same time. Really so they've got debt, but hey, the good times are rolling on.
Wow.
Yeah, it's interesting.
What did they say they'd spend it on, the 10 grand?
Well, all sorts of, going out, having a good time, I guess. That certainly, certainly they're not spending it on major household items, and they're not buying houses either. So go figure. Yeah,
quite an extraordinary survey.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Synlait
Now,
milk.
a lot of people don't know Synlait. It's not a household name, but they are hoping that one day they may be, because they're a wholesaler. They sell milk, specialty milk, to, say, A2 milk, which makes infant formula.
Yeah, that's taken off out of nowhere in the past few years.
Yeah, that's right. And their milk is designed for people, say, for example, there's lactose intolerant people, but there's also people who are allergic to dairy. And their milk, A2 milk, manufactures this infant formula, which is based on Synlait's production, which has special characteristics, so that if you're allergic to milk, you might be able to have the Synlait product.
Yeah.
Now, Synlait doesn't brand, they are a wholesaler. However, they've decided that they're going to launch into consumer products sometime over the 12 months, but it's not going to be infant formula. What it's going to be is still a secret. Where it's going to be, also a secret. Watch this space, we'll find out.
What was their result, Nona? Did they have a result out today?
Yeah, they did. Their profit rose 11% to $38.2 million. Now, it would have been more, but they spent a lot of money on research development on those new products they're developing.
This is still a bit of a startup, really, isn't it?
It is, but you know what? Their revenue was up 39% to $759 million. That's one heck of a startup.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
What happened on the markets today?
Okay, so the NZX top 50 index, it rose 6 points to 7,765. Market's a little subdued there, just ahead of the Federal Reserve looking at Fed interest rates again. The New Zealand dollar trading at 72.8 US cents, 91.3 Australian, and 53.8 pence.
Nona Peltier beside me in the Auckland studio. Thank you very much indeed.